Hey there and welcome to the Weeb Lounge. I am Nick. Once again, this is episode 10 of Kuma 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 Bear. And if there's one good thing to say about this episode, at least they're not serving up pudding to frickin' everyone. Alright, this episode, finally they leave a little bit, the cutesy comes down a little bit, and there's a little bit more trouble kind of stuff, okay? I wasn't as disappointed or angry after watching this episode, but I'm still not 100% happy. Alright, episode opens up with Yuna with their bears crossing a big old snowy mountain range for whatever reason. It's like a flash forward, flashback kind of thing. She's talking on cell phones to Shuri. She just conjured up some cell phones. They look like bears. Of course, they're bear phones, bear cell phones, whatever. Okay, she's talking with her and everything, and then it kind of flashes back, and Yuna's sitting in her bear Kuma house, reminiscing about food, about all the Japanese cuisine that she's missing out on. You know, soy sauce, noodles, fish, whatever, all these dishes and everything. And she's like, oh, well, I can't get them here because the ingredients aren't anywhere here. Maybe if I go to a fish town over by the sea, I can get something, right? Okay. Talks to the merchant guild, be like, hey, there's a city over here and everything. But the reason they don't contact the city very often, and the city is Melilia? I wrote it down. I can't pronounce it. It starts with an M. Melilia. It's the sea town, whatever. She goes there and she finds out that this town is like cut off with these mountains. Okay, it's really close to the city she's in, but this big mountain range just like kind of blocks access, and if you want to actually get there, you have to take a long road outside, and it takes a really long time to get there. So there's not much contact or trade between these cities. For Yuna though, with the bear gate, all she has to do is get there once, set up the bear gate, she can get to and from as quick as she wants, right? All right, great. And thus the trek begins. She gets on the bears, she heads up the mountains and finds two bodies. They're just like dead, half buried in the thing. It's a husband and wife combo, okay? Yuna, of course, shows up right in time, saves them, and they're like giving all this information about the town. Well, apparently the town is having a food shortage crisis. And this is because of a two-factor little attack that this town's enduring. One, there's a whole bunch of bandits around, okay? So anyone who goes out and try to do some regular hunting or whatever, the bandits are like attacking, murdering, stealing, doing all this kind of crap. So they can't really go out and hunt. And in the sea, apparently a big old kraken decided to just make the port its home. So they can't get the boats out to go fishing. So fish is rare, meat and everything from the wolves and bears or pigs or whatever the heck's out that they're hunting or whatever, that's rare. So big food shortage. And this is very evident when Yuna starts walking through the town, finds this little kiosk selling some meat, and they don't have all that much. The portions are small, and it's like 20 times or 10 times the cost of normal. Supply and demand, right? Oh man, it's definitely a crisis, and people are going hungry. And that's when you see this merchant guy, assuming he's a merchant guy, okay? This shady ass guy. I mean, he's got like the wig hair thing going, the big old mustache. It looks all prim proper and comes out yelling at people who are complaining about the price and all that stuff. And I'm sitting here like, okay, you know this guy's bad. You know he's evil. You know he's a POS. And yeah, I mean, there's no question about this. So Yuna's like, okay, well, maybe I can donate some food, and wants to get over to the guild house. Well, she goes to the guild house and meets Atla, who is this big, busty, hardly any clothes, good-looking girl sitting there drinking some bourbon. No complaints about this. Turns out it's not bourbon. Okay, they have a little discussion and everything, and it turns out this is like sweet tea, like really highly caffeinated sweet tea. She has been awake for days because her and whatever adventurers are left are doing their best to try to save the town, feed the town, and just cure things, do what they can. Well, Yuna decides, hey, I got 5,000 wolves worth of meat that you can use. I'll donate it all. And they can't handle that much, so 100 a day. It's the best they can do. So they start dishing out the 100 a day, and Yuna's going to have to stick around for a little while in order to accomplish this. And just 100 a day, 100 a day, 100 a day, 100 a day, and eventually the town starts getting fed. which obviously draws the ire of the weird-looking merchant wig guy. Okay, now there's a little scene where this guy is looking out his window, and across the street, across the way, at the opposite window, is where Atla is looking through her window, like looking at the merchant guy or whoever the heck it is with like just sinister gaze. It's like, I know you're up to something, you evil bastard, but I can't prove it, or that kind of thing. It's pretty obvious somebody's up to something, because the bandits, yeah, they try to kill Yuna. Bad idea. Okay, Yuna's hanging around town, feeding the people and everything, and word gets out that she has this huge storage of treasure and everything in that little paw bag or whatever the heck it is. And a couple of bandits are like, okay, well, we're going to break into her room, stab her to death or something, steal her stuff, and haul ass. No, it didn't go that way. Obviously, it didn't go that way. The two bears, Kuma Kuma and Kuma Yuna, or Kuma, whatever. Apparently they can shrink down size like little cub forms or whatever. It's a new skill they learned. It's just they can mini size, and they wait. So they're like out all the time. They're not just summoned or whatever. They just kind of bounce around the house. It's great. It's fine. They warn Yuna that hey, there's something up, and Yuna wakes up, and her little radar thing says, hey, there's two guys right outside your door, and they're trying to break in. Kind of feels bad for those guys because they break in and they get freaking owned. They get tied, like it's just like fade to black. They're tied up. They're at the mercy of the bears. Well, of course, Yuna needs to interrogate them, and it's like, hey, where's your boss? Where's the little bandit hideout and everything? And the bears get all big and like kind of thing, and they spill the beans. And Yuna is very, very mad because they interrupted her sleep. Apparently, this is something that you do not do to Yuna. You don't interrupt her while she's playing video games. You don't interrupt her while she's eating. And you do not absolutely interrupt her when she's sleeping. Bad things will happen in threes. So, she finds the bandit hideout, blows it up. Good to go. But that's the end of the episode. It doesn't kind of conclude it. She gets there, she attacks it, and she's like all mean face and everything. And it's like, ooh, you gonna get it. And then it kind of fades to black, waiting for the next episode. So apparently this is a two-parter. So what do I take away from this episode? Okay, chances are bandits are gone. She's probably going to beat up the krakken at some point or lure it away or something like that. Because she does kind of say that, the krakens work weak to fire, but her fire doesn't work very good through the water or on the water. Well, when it surfaces, just nuke it. You're good. Logic. Come on, use logic. So that's pretty much what I get. Eventually they're going to get rid of the kraken. She's getting rid of the bandits right now as we speak. And old merchant guy or whatever is probably going to get his ass handed to him too, because he's probably coordinating the bandits and probably did something to lure the kraken there so that he can, apparently he controls the food supply. He controls all the, prices and everything. So if he can sell very, very little for a hell of a lot of money, he's banking, right? He's banking off the suffering of the whole freaking town, which is bad business because once they figure it out, you're out of business. Look, listen, criminal enterprise merchant guys or whatever out there in mass, treat your customers right, you make more money. You try to do dumb stuff like this, you gonna go out of business. That's that. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. And when I sat down to watch this episode, I sat down, I wasn't anticipating it. I was thinking I was going to dread the whole episode. I sat down, I started breaking the notes and everything, and I was like, you know what? Okay, this episode's okay. It's nothing glamorous, it's nothing super entertaining, but it break the mold from like the last 8 or whatever that I was getting completely sick of. So hopefully next episode we get something, but I'm learning, don't hold your breath with this series. Don't put too much hope in it. I'll go into the next episode with caution, much caution. Too cutesy. Oh man, just don't go cutesy. Just don't go super cutesy. Beat up the kraken. Big fight. We'll see you in the next video.